Before we continue with the video, I'd like to shout out Insta360 for sponsoring today's video.
The Insta360 One RS is a camera that I'm currently using for my motovlogging setup. It's an amazing modular camera where you can use the regular 4K boost lens for your motovlogging setup just like I am now, but also you can replace that lens with your 360 lens that you guys have seen me use before on the channel and be able to incorporate different shots into your video. The camera includes active HDR, 3 microphones with improved audio and wind reduction, a rugged design, a new improved mounting bracket which has a quick release, heat dissipating design, and a windproof mic cover.
Now let me teach you a couple things about how you can start using this beautiful camera for motovlogging. All you need is the case, the mount right here, and the mic adapter right here. Put these together just like that, and then you plug in your mic right here. And now I'll help you set up the camera. You can choose what mode you're trying to film in, such as time-lapse, time shift, low motion, loop recording, 6K widescreen mode for more cinematic shots, burst shots, star lapse, night mode, intervals, HDR photo, photos, video, and active HDR. For this video, I was using the regular video option, and my settings were set at 2.7K at 60 frames per second. But in my next video, I will be trying the active HDR, which will be shooting at 4K 30 frames per second, and I'll update you guys on how that's gonna look. And lastly, this is the belt that I use to get those beautiful 360 third-person shots attached with this Insta360 pole that can be extended, and then you attach the camera all the way to the top with the 360 lens, and that's how you get those beautiful third-person point of views. If you guys want to get into motovlogging, make sure to check out the link in the description down below to get started producing high-quality videos.
Today's an exciting video, very exciting. Finally, Troy came over to my place to help me tune my bikes because he lives kind of far, and I took the V4 once there. I took the M1000, those are already done. The V4 we actually added a little party trick. Now when I start the bike, it gives me that beautiful message, Racing Pro. So I already had the stage 2 tune on it, so bike is still the same. It should be pushing about 215 to the wheel, and now I have that fun message, which I like those little details. But the main thing is the Aprilia. She is getting tuned. He already did the reading. He's uploading the map onto the handheld, and then we're gonna plug her in and she's gonna get the new map. I'm very excited for this one because this is gonna be exciting. You know, this bike has the air filter, has the exhaust, so it's pretty much complete. This one still needs the exhaust, but it already has the stage 2 and the filter, so all I need to do is throw in the exhaust whenever it gets here. Yeah, exciting stuff. Also, if you guys did see the title, I got scammed. Yeah, that's actually true. So I'll get into it a little bit more in the video, but pretty much what happened is I asked Troy and Brad to take out my ECU, because if you guys didn't know, if you're new to the channel, then you know that I previously tried tuning this bike with SLR. I went there like 7 to 8 times. It had issues, so many issues, misfires, the bike wasn't working, wasn't starting, many problems. When they first tuned it, it was like it made more power, but then it was having the misfires and the stutters and stuff like that, and it was dying to me at light. So I went there like so many different times to adjust the tune, and after adjusting it, they didn't even want to throw it back on the dyno, which it was a little funny because I wanted to compare the numbers after the adjustments, but they said they didn't change much, so it should be good. But the bike didn't feel as aggressive and fast as it did before, so I asked Brent and Troy to take out the ECU of this one to see their map and compare the two, because after tuning this with Brent tuning, the bike felt definitely faster, especially up top. I definitely felt the power difference, how it was like pulling more and more. So I pretty much got scammed because they did like almost no tuning. All they did pretty much was remove some restrictions, and that's it. And so pretty much they tuned it. They didn't know how to do it because it was messing up and having all these different issues. And then when they were adjusting it, fixing it, they pretty much just put it back to like stock mapping with like removing some restrictions, and that's it. Got scammed by SLR, but that's the title of this video. He's going to talk more about it because I don't know too much about tuning, but I'm going to throw all this stuff that he sent me from the ECU reading from the before on the screen so you guys see everything. But yeah, he's going to talk more about it. We're actually going to be riding both of these. I'm probably going to ride the V4 and he's going to ride the Aprilia, and then we'll probably switch or do something like that. So to play. Even the shifts are better now. I miss riding this bike. Listen to those downshifts. I even got the Aprilia Racing logo because the bike is tuned now. Excited to see what this thing can do. Already feels much better. Holy, this bike is fast. That before looks so good. God, this bike is fast. That was like half throttle and it's just like... A bike this fast and this powerful, that's a dangerous combo. That is trouble. To stay down at all. This bike sounds like heaven. I don't even know. Heaven and hell together. Way better. It's so good now. Really? Holy. Bro, this bike is dangerous now. Yeah? It's so fast and it's so loud. I feel the power. I'm like, holy, whoa. I like that exhaust. If you got the entire Porsche map on it. Uh-huh. Nice. This bike is fun. It's a lot of fun, but it's dangerous, dude. Now it's just like, whoop, whoop. But this bike looks so good on the road. Like, I was looking, I was like, damn. That's how I look like when I ride it. Ooh. The Italians boast with the SC project. Do you want to tell the people about the mapping and all that? Remember the files?
Basically, we pulled the actual file off of it and compared it from stock file.
there were only two changes really. I mean, it was the exhaust valve off, meaning the exhaust valve code, the error on the dash was off. So you didn't see that. They raised the RPM limiter incorrectly. There's a correct way to do it and an incorrect way to do it. They did it incorrectly. And then the checksum was a mess. And there's like a header and footer on these files, and the checksum, it was from a completely, like a different software from another bike, basically. Another V4, then V4R, then it was just kind of jumbled all together. So we had to clean that up, then give you actual file that had actual changes in it for timing. I mean, you still have throttle restrictions in it. The stock throttle restrictions were still on the bike, so it's no wonder, even when flashing it, even if we didn't make changes other than just pulling up the throttle restriction, you would have felt the difference, much less what we've done, which is, you know, many changes to the motorcycle at this point for fueling. The rear cylinders are more lean than the front cylinders, so we have to pepper more fuel into the rear than the front. I mean, we've done individual testing for a lot of parameters on this bike just to get it right. And the V4R is one of these bikes that it stays really high in the RPM range. It's supposed to be between 10 to 16, right around there at the track, so you have to be really careful with how you treat these engines, and a lot of R&D goes into the tuning for it. And
initially, they put on the dyno, that's when it made the 210, I think, to the wheel or something like that. But at that point, the bike felt good. It did feel faster and all that, but I had the issue with like the stuttering. So between, I think around like 12,000 RPMs, it would just like cut power and stutters. And I also had the idling issue where sometimes at lights, it would idle like up and down, idle solo that it dies.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
that's what the issues they were having, and then at one point they were just trying. I know they slammed a V4 file into it.
That was the first one. That's when I raced max wrist. I was like, something is really wrong, because my thing's like redlining at like 414 or 14.5.
Yeah, so it was definitely a V4 file in there, and I think that was just kind of to get you out of there just so they can figure something out, and then probably bring you back in to kind of fix it. But they never fixed it really, so they just kind of took a stock file, chopped it up a little bit, 2 changes, and then gave it to you and said, here, send it. You know, like, we already got our number on the video. Like,
I wish it was that simple, because I actually, so the first V4 map, that's when it was messed up, and then they gave me the good map, but then it was having these issues with the stuttering and all of the dying, and then I went to adjust it again, and then he gave me a file where the bike would start, and then it would just idle down and die right away. So it wasn't even rideable.
Yeah, so...
And after that, they did like more and more adjustments, and that's when all the electronics were turned off, and they couldn't figure it out. And finally, like the 7th or 8th adjustment, that's when the bike was good. But I was suspicious because A, it didn't feel as aggressive as when it had the stuttering, like the 2nd or 3rd map they put on. But also, he has a base V4S, nothing on it, literally factory, OEM. And I could barely pull away from him. I was like, this is very wrong. Like, I was looking at him, and he's like, still, like, I'm pulling away, but like this slow. And I'm like, there's no way attuned with the, this has the POA F1 air filter, you know, the aggressive one. All that power and exhaust attuned, and I'm barely pulling away from a stock V4S. That's when I was like really suspicious, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just redo it with you guys, and I'm glad I did, because as you guys saw, like, this bike is a different animal now. Feels way better, so thank you.
Yeah, the way we handle stuff is we work in hex, so it's different than a lot of other tuners. They use programs that are kind of given to them that have preset maps, like, oh, click on this map, this is throttle. Okay, I can raise the throttle by doing this. Whereas we take hex and we define the maps through the actual coding of the entire ECU. We just take the bin dump, basically. Define each part of it and go, that's for that, that's for that, that's for that, ourselves. And then we make the changes, test them, and that's how we make our tuning. We don't just use maps from other people or tools from other people just to kind of make a couple nudges here and there. We define every single part of it, and that's why in the BMW, for example, we're the only people that have the wideband control, the bike tunes itself. Nobody else can get control of that. Woolwich has the defining in there for it, and they can't do 22s either. But they have the definitions in there for it, but it's mislabeled. It doesn't do anything to the actual wideband because there's other tables that haven't brought in correctly. So they have the tables in there, but it doesn't make any changes until you do it correctly. So that's where a lot of tuners kind of fall short because they don't really get really deep into the ECU like we do. That's the real difference.
You guys did this and my S1000RR in like half a day, while just them doing this took like literally like 2 weeks. So yeah, and I like that you guys, when you were like tuning it, you're like, okay, it's this, it's that, and you guys were fixing it and making it all work. So like, it showed me that you guys know what you're doing, not just throwing stupid stuff in it and then it's another problem. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was
a hiccup and you fix it and that's it. It's just like that. And that's why I trust my M1000 with you guys. And that bike feels amazing right now. Alright, and by the way, all the hex stables and all that, I'm not familiar with all that stuff. I'm going to put everything in the display for you guys to see, and he explained all about it. But now I'm just happy because all the bikes are tuned and good. I'm actually going to redo the R1 at some point with them as well, just because I don't want none of that SLR stuff. None of them have any issues. All the bikes so far, you guys have done this one, my S1000RR, and my M1000RR, and soon to be the R1. So everything is riding like much better and no issues at all. So thank you, honestly. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We did a full explanation of these two bikes. This is fully tuned. I'll probably do a full like take it through a canyon or something like that where I can open it up more. But as you guys saw from that little pull, this bike is coming up like every gear now, and it feels so good, so much more powerful and responsive. It's just all around like done really well, and I'm excited. Probably gonna take this one to the track early June. We're taking the M1000 late May. He might be coming on his M1000 too, so that'll be exciting to see the tuned M1000 on the track. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you again. Also check out his channel if you guys want to do any of like work on certain bikes like the stage 2 on the S1000s. He has a lot of like videos breaking in bikes, stuff like that. He has everything on his channel. Just put it right here, right with his face. That's his channel name. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace out, ride safe. That Brillo looks clean, but in comparison to this, like when I saw this, I'm like, whoa.